Hey Al, how's it going? Can you hear me okay? Awesome. This is my just second time doing it. We live streamed last night for like 2.5 hours, but I'm gonna keep it to 1 hour today. But I'm still kind of working out the kinks. Do you have any trades on for this week? Or any positions open? Or any trades you're thinking about? Hey Lewis Clark, what's going on? You're thinking about Intel, Al? Ooh, Intel's a rough one. Let's take a look at it. I did the technical analysis. I don't know if you saw my video recently, but Intel got hit hard. I mean, look at this candle. Cash good puts. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I just don't know how low Intel's gonna go. It was very flat on the 23rd on Friday. It was super flat all day long. There was no volume on Intel. Are you playing the other semis like AMD or Qualcomm or Micron or Nvidia or anything, or just Intel? Forex TradeX says he closed the short call from his Tesla. Poor man's covered call, holding long 460. Let's take a look at Microsoft, please. Yeah, sure. We can look at Microsoft. I don't think I've done T on Microsoft in a while. Actually, I don't think I've ever done T on Microsoft, to be honest with you. I don't think we have anything up. Let's see. Yeah, I haven't done T on Microsoft. I actually just personally just have not been interested in Microsoft, but not saying it's a bad ticker. What were you thinking about Forex options, shares? You've been holding what price did you get in at? I guess there's a stream delay on YouTube side, I'm assuming. Like 215? Oof. Oh man, so you got in near the peak, huh? You got in somewhere around here-ish. That's rough. You probably got in what, like in August, I'm assuming? Somewhere in late August, early September? The stream is choppy, or you mean Microsoft choppy? Is this... Oh, okay, okay. All right, you scared me because I was going to say it looks pretty smooth on my end. I don't know if YouTube's giving us issues. But, yeah, let's see what we can do. Let's do some... I mean, right off the bat, obviously we were in an uptrend, I can see, on Microsoft from, you know, from what, March to pretty much early September. And then the whole market sold off, right? Early September. But, I mean, I'm doing this quick and dirty. I'm just going to delete this right now. But let's just see. I mean, if I were to draw fib levels, I'd probably draw them from like the recent lows, something like this, to probably the recent highs. And where would that put us if I zoom in here? So, I mean, looking at the Microsoft chart, I'd say given where the orange line is a 21 moving average, 21 day, the pink line is the 50-day moving average. So it looks like, I mean, the intraday low on this past Friday, pretty much, you can see it blew a little bit past the orange line, pretty much touched the pink line. So it looks like we have support somewhere at about, I don't know, let's just say 212 to, 212 and some change to 213 and some change. Looks like that's going to act as support right now. We did have 3 green days in a row, so honestly, it looks like we're going to get a little bit of bounce, I think, tomorrow. That's what I'm gonna assume because the 21 and the 50 day are gonna kind of keep creeping up a little bit. So we might have a little bit of a bounce up to like, I mean, you're at 216 right now. If you don't want to hold it, you could just cash out, right? Assuming we open up flat or green, just get a little bit of stock appreciation and just get rid of it. I mean, if I scroll out, yeah, I mean, what's the all-time high on Microsoft? Somewhere around, like 230, low 230s. Yeah, for break even. Yeah, I mean, if you really don't want to hold it, your other options are you could just sell a weekly covered call if you have 100 shares. I don't know how many shares you have, but you could just sell a weekly covered call right at your cost basis at 215. See what happens. You probably get pretty decent premiums because Microsoft has earnings this week, right? What day were Microsoft earnings? Wednesday, I think. I can't remember. It was either Tuesday or Wednesday. I think Tuesday. No, I can't remember now. But the premiums are probably very juicy this week on Microsoft. So you could, if you sold like an at the money covered call, if you have 100 shares, even if the shares don't get called away, you could reduce your cost basis. Or like I said, if you just don't want to hold them at all, just you could dump them for a break even or a little bit of stock appreciation. I mean, let's take a look. We'll see where. Looks like somewhere around here. I mean, oops. 210 or 211 is probably support right now because, I mean, it's actually right where the 50% Fibonacci level is, but it's also, look at some of these wicks and candles here. Looks like it was resistance for a lot of September and October. So you probably definitely have support around 210, 211. Like I said, you probably have some support right here where the moving averages are. And probably somewhere up here is probably going to be, it's tough because there's not a lot of price data, but actually we might actually be at resistance because right here we topped out on Friday. And if you look back, there's some candles. Oh wow, a bunch of candles actually, like here July 9th, a little bit in early August, and then end of August where we topped out at 216. So actually, I might take that back a little bit. We might actually be at resistance right now at 216. So hopefully when we open tomorrow, we'll have a green day. We can blow past this area of resistance. But it looks like right now, if I had to guess, we're probably going to trade between like 213 and 216 until it decides where it wants to go, up or down. But it does look like 216 is a, historically, I guess, for the past few months, a pretty significant area of resistance. You can see we pretty much topped out there a few times. And we're right there again where we closed Friday. I don't know if that helps you, but I guess it all just depends on how badly you want to get rid of the shares or if you just want to hang on to them and sell covered calls. But yeah, I mean, I kind of did the same thing with AMD, right? Like I got into AMD at 85 and I mean, what is its all-time high is like 94. So I'm really like, I got in at AMD at the peak too. So I'm kind of in the same boat you are, but you're in a better position than I am because I also want to get rid of my shares. My covered call this week is for the 89 strike on Friday. I don't think AMD is going to hit 89 or above end of day Friday, to be honest with you. So I'm probably going to end up selling more covered calls next week. But I'll probably get into a lower strike. So probably somewhere in the mid 80s, to be honest with you. Because I got assigned at 85. So I probably just sell more covered calls at 85 and just, get good premium and then just get my shares called away. That's what my plan is right now. If you saw my video from earlier today. Kevin, what's up? You want to look at Guild? We can look at Guild. I mean, Gilead just pumped, right? Because didn't the FDA just approve their drug for emergency use? Did it just have a giant pump? Like, what was it, Thursday? Wait, why did it go down? Wait, is this right? Guild is Gilead, right? I thought they pumped. Didn't the FDA just approve? Let's see. Here's news. Does Mexico not follow FDA? Okay. What else? Yeah, I don't know what happened to Guild. I don't follow it. I don't really trade any of the pharma stocks, but I thought it pumped because I thought the FDA, maybe this was the pump right here. I think it was this, right? The 22nd is when that news came out, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see. Yeah, right here. Gilead gets U.S. FDA approved for hospitalized patients. Yeah, so that was, I guess it wasn't as big as a pump as I thought it was. And then, oh, and then what happened? So, okay, so we pumped it after hours. I see what happened. We pumped it after hours Thursday night. It opened up really high the next morning, but then just sold off pretty much back to where we closed Thursday. That's what happened. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I don't mess with, like, I mean, honestly, this graph doesn't really look appetizing to me because, I mean, ever since, 2015, it's kind of been overall downward sloping. So this thing, I mean, regardless of what they're making and FDA approval and whatnot, like I would not be interested in wheeling this personally. I mean, even now, I mean, look from July till now, it's overall, right? Overall, the trend is just, down. So, yeah, I don't know. This is not um, a stock that I personally would want to trade, and I haven't really looked into it that much. But it does look like, yeah, I don't know. Let's do some preliminary technical analysis, see what we get. Because there's not a, I mean, is there a lot of price data at that level? I mean, let's see. There's not much. It does look like where we closed Friday at 60.79. It's got to be a pretty decent area of support because it's right at where we dipped down a year ago, October 2019. Pretty close to lows back in 2018. So we really haven't seen levels that low for, past 2 years. So I can't imagine, especially with, I guess, good news coming out, that it dips even further. So I would expect a little bit of a rally now, just because it looks like it's at, 2-year lows. But again, hey, Alias, what's going on? Long time no see. But yeah, I don't know, because even when it does have green days, it's still, like I said, overall for the past few months, it's just slowly selling off. What do you have in there, Kevin? Or do you just thinking about trading it? You're thinking about it? I mean, I don't know. If you don't personally, if I was in your shoes and not financial advice, I think you could put your money in better tickers, in my opinion. Like, what are you hoping for? A vaccine pump? Is that what you're trying to play here? Oh, Alias, you figured out why I was selling calls? Yeah, because last night you just said you had I think you said you have calls, and I didn't know if you bought calls or if you sold calls, right? Because if you sold calls, that's somewhat of a bearish play, I guess you could think about it. But if you bought calls, that's obviously a very bullish play. So I didn't know uh, if you were buying options or selling options. That's why I asked. Yeah, I don't know, Kevin. Yeah, I mean, but the thing with the vaccine pump stuff is like it's unpredictable, right? Like who knew? I mean, I'm sure somebody knew, but we, the general public, didn't know that on October 22nd it was going to get FDA approval, right? And it always happens after hours too. It never happens during market hours. So it's like whenever you can't even trade when these news comes out, and like you're just at the mercy of these gap ups and gap downs. And then certain people would just put tweets out that would pump stocks or whatever. So I don't like that. I don't like tickers that I don't want to say they're random, but it's just very catalyst driven, right? Very news driven. I just don't like that because I feel like that's basically just like gambling. I don't know, or very close to gambling compared to like other tickers where I can kind of try and do some technical analysis and it'll hold. I mean, that being said, like if you look at space, right? Like back on September 25th and 26th when it gapped up, that was all like news driven, right? It was because analysts upgrade. Like that threw all of my technical analysis out of the water, right? So like that was just unpredictable. Fortunately it worked out for me to the upside, but space isn't one of those companies like Moderna or Gilead or Pfizer that's like really news driven right now, with news coming out and tweets coming out, weekly or something. Alias says, would I consider GameStop a poor candidate for the wheel? Sell strangles. I think we talked about GameStop last night too. Like, I'm just not a fan. Like, I don't know. I think there's personally, if I had capital to and I wanted to trade with it, I think there's better tickers for more stable tickers where you can still get good juicy premiums. I mean, look at GameStop. Like I said, like long term, look at this thing. It's just been like slowly selling off since 2013. So for the past 7 years, it's just been slowly just, you know, red overall, right? Long term. But like this, and it's been flat, right? Ever since, pretty much from August of last year. So over a year, it's basically been trading from $3 and some change to what, like $6. So it's been like a penny stock, like in and out of penny stock territory, just up until recently, where it's got this huge pump. And then obviously this giant green candle is with the Microsoft deal that just happened. But I mean, it all depends. If you, I made a video, probably 3 or 4 months ago now. I forget what it was called. It's kind of called like how I choose my stocks or something like that, or how I pick my tickers. But the first thing, I mean, this is obviously my strategy or my kind of sentiment or what I do. So it's not like the right way. It's just the way I do it. But my style is like the first thing I do is I just scroll out and just look at the overall long-term graph, right? I don't like stocks like this. I don't want stocks that are choppy or definitely I don't want stocks that are going down. Like I don't want stocks that are like doing this, right? Because it's gonna affect wherever you buy in. Oops, all right, get rid of that. Let me do that again. Right, because if it's like choppy, like down and then up and then down and then up and then down and then maybe overall it's still up. But like depending on where you get in, if you're getting on the upside or the downside, it could burn you, right? So I don't really like that. I'd rather get into what I want to see is a stock that is just flat out like this over time, just straight up, right? I mean, yes, you can get a little bit of like choppiness, like whatever, but overall, I want the overall trend to be up because that makes me feel better knowing that if I get assigned shares, if I'm wheeling it, that at least over time, it'll go back up, right? A stock like GameStop, where I'm just looking at this, and like I said, from pretty much if I asked you to draw the trend line, right? If I asked you to draw like what this trend line is from 2013 till now, I mean, I think you would draw a line like something like this, right? Like yes, we've had this little bump up here, but okay, even if you want to draw it to like this, it's still down, right? It's still down and to the right. So my fear would be, exactly like I said, where what happens if let's say you're wheeling this thing, right? You're selling some cash secured puts, and then now you get assigned like right here, right? Okay, that's great, but now look at it. Now for like the next, how long are you willing to wait? Months, years? What if you got assigned up here? This was 2016. It's been 4 years and we're still not back to that level. So at some point, you're either gonna have to cut your losses for a loss, or you're just gonna bag hold forever until and there's no guarantee that GameStop's gonna come back up. But if I have a stock like the overall graph is like this, and then I get in like here, well, I feel like given enough time, it will come back up, right? Like let's say I get in there, and the graph like at this point, it kind of like dips, right? And I bought in there, I got assigned there. Well, then at some point, I think it's going to come back up. So I feel like given enough time, it'll come back. Yeah, I mean, right. Yeah, it's volatile. I mean, but is it it's volatile, but I don't even know if it's volatile. Like space is volatile, but this just seems long-term bearish. I mean, why is this even a run up right now, right? Aside from the Microsoft deal, why did we even pump it? Like, why did the market pump GameStop? I know Michael Burry's been big on it, but so what? I don't know. I mean, this is a penny stock, right? Like it's been trading for under $5 for what? Ever since, I mean, for pretty much this whole year, even before the illness. I don't know what does that mean? SEC Cohen filing. I don't know what that means. So somebody has a 10% stake in it. Is that what you mean? I don't know who Cohen is though. I mean, I'm guessing you're saying that, you know, some big investor or some hedge fund or something invested a lot of money into it. I guess I'm assuming that's what you mean. But I mean, that's fine. But I don't know. Doesn't GameStop pump whenever there's a console year? I mean, probably, right? But I mean, Elias Lee, think about it though. Who's gonna buy a console in person this year, right? Like, if you want the new PS5, aren't you just gonna order it online and have it delivered to your house? So, where are you gonna go? You're gonna go to Amazon or Best Buy or whatever. Yeah, no, I get that. It's Christmas, but like, I don't know. If I want to buy a PS5, I'm not going to GameStop. Personally, I don't even know. Does GameStop even deliver if you buy it online, or do they even offer online purchasing? I don't know. But like, if I want a PS5 for Christmas, I'm just gonna go to Amazon and get it delivered to me, you know, with Prime shipping like the next day or whatever. Oh, Elias Lee, your comment is getting blocked by YouTube. It doesn't like the foul language. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Mario Kart Live profit split with GME. What does that mean? Mario Kart Live profit split? I don't know what that means. Oh, you're talking about the Microsoft deal? Yeah, but right, but that just happened, right? That Microsoft deal happened like October 8th, right? But we still had this run up before then since August. Like, what was this run up in September and October from? No, I get that. Like, I get the recent run up, but what was this run up? I don't know. I haven't been following GameStop, so I don't know much about the ticker. But like I said, I mean, my number one, or like the first kind of screening criteria that I use personally. Oh, the run up was from that guy. Oh, interesting. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, but there's plenty of people, like plenty of hedge funds that invest in all these companies, right? Like look at we were talking about the ARK funds last night. Um, so like, just because the big money is investing in it doesn't necessarily mean, like, I mean, they may know, but it's not a guarantee that they know something. I don't know. I know that's like how some people trade with the like flow data or like insider, like legitimate insider trading data. But you know, I guess you got to find what you like. I found, at least recently, that I like trading off the technical analysis that I do personally, and then also I like to trade companies that I know about and that I kind of like. I honestly, when was the last time you bought something from GameStop? I don't know when the last time I bought something from GameStop was. I don't even remember the last time I went into a GameStop, even before the illness. Oh no, Elias Lee. Oh no, I know. I mean, I know definitely about WSB, but that should just be. Oh, so so Elias Lee, or yeah, Elias Lee definitely. It's definitely become a meme stock. 100%. I agree with that. But are you trying to say you want to sell the options to the memers? Is that what you're trying to say? I mean, I definitely agree that I would not even think about buying options on GameStop. I would definitely want to. Yeah, I mean, yeah, but see, Elias, the thing you gotta be careful of is, you know, the premiums are going to be juicy, right? Because like you said, it's getting memed on and hyped up and stuff. But you don't want to get memed on yourself trying to sell a meme stock to somebody else. You know what I mean? Like, if you sell GameStop, like let's say you sell a cash you could put on GameStop, and then it just tanks, and then now you own 100 shares. Well, you're the one that got memed on now, right? Like, Wall Street Bets memed on you. right? Like if somebody on Wall Street Bets wants to buy a put and then you sell it to them and then GameStop drops, they made money and then you were the one that got memed on. So like, yeah, I don't know. It's too personally for my trading style, it's too risky. But I agree with you that it is 100% like meme stock or hype stock. And I tend to stay away from those personally, just because I don't want to get burned. Or I don't want to tie up a lot of my capital for like weeks or months in some stock that I dislike. Corey says, what are your thoughts on Wayfair? Are you familiar with them? I know about them. Like they sell, they're an online store, right? They sell like overpriced furniture. they sell expensive furniture, right? I haven't done any TA on them. Looks like they had a giant run up. I'm assuming this is from the rise of online shopping, right? From quarantine and from, the illness. So I'm assuming this is the run up. But they have earnings coming up too. What next? Not this week, but the following week, November 3rd. Yeah, very overpriced furniture. I mean, it's true, is it not? I've looked at stuff on Wayfair, and then I look at the price, and then I, go to another website. But I guess selling overpriced furniture is good for their business. They're obviously making money. I mean, their share price is very high. What are you thinking about? Are you thinking about spreads, or are you trying to wheel this thing like cash secured puts or something? Now, I saw your comment about Hyliion. We'll take a look at it next. I didn't forget about you. I got you. Using cash, you have enough cash. You have like $27,000 to wheel Wayfair. I mean, good for you. Yeah, I mean, just looking at Wayfair, right? This is something that I like, right? Compared to GameStop that we just saw, it does look like over time, it's going up, right? It's an upward trend, but it is choppy, right? Like it fluctuates a lot, actually. Oh, spreads. Okay, all right, yeah, that's what I figured, because I was like 27K is a lot, for one position. I don't know, Corey. You could be balling, dude. I don't know. If you're balling, Corey, drop me a super chat, man. But I don't know. Let's see. Let's try and do some TA real quick. I've never looked at this. So I'll probably draw something from the most recent low here, I guess, as fib levels. So probably something like this to maybe like this right there, the recent high. We zoom in here. Let's see. I think just looking at this, it looks like, I'm assuming we're going to have a little bit of a green day coming up, at least up to earnings. Because I say that because this orange line, which is the 21-day moving average, it looks like Wayfair trades very closely to the orange line, right? Whenever it pulls away, it always comes back and it kind of bounces off it, right? Bounce out there, right? Rides it, came, traded away from it, came back now below it. But this September, this September dip, every graph looks like this right now, right? If you look at any ticker, there's always this string of red candles in September because the whole market kind of sold off a little bit. So, take it for what it is, but I don't think this is a function of Wayfair. I think this is more a function of just the overall market. But here's the thing, right? Like, so now we rallied back, and then again, like we're pretty close to the orange line. And then the past, it's had what, 6 red days in a row. So now we're pretty far below the 21-day moving average. So I would expect, again, I don't know a lot about Wayfair, so I don't know like if any bad news has come out or, what. Let's just take a look really quickly at the news. If anything crazy has come out, I mean, there really isn't any news. The last news event was from October 14th. But so I would expect a little bit of a rally, back up to the moving average here. If I had to guess, right? I mean, everything I do is a guess, right? I don't, can't predict the future. But I would expect, what's this big red candle from? October 21st, do you know? Was there some news event that happened? Because that's a pretty big drop. It went from about 300, it dropped like 20, 30 points in a day. Do you know what that was from or what happened? Yeah, you're not sure. Yeah, I don't know, but I mean, because that candle is much bigger than like any other recent candle, so I'm assuming something must have happened, like some news or some analyst downgrading it or something. But something must have happened because it dropped, like I said, from like 300 to 270. It dropped like 30 points, which is a lot. And then I'm assuming that's what also caused these two other candles. Oh, clearance sale type deal? Yeah, I don't know. But like, I'm assuming then that these two candles are just a continuation of whatever sold it off this day. So I would say, I mean, honestly, like if I was looking at this stock, I would figure out what happened here and then see, like, is that going to cause this stock to keep selling off? Like, I don't know what this event was. But if not, if it was just, whatever, just a random sell off, I think we'd have a little bit of a rally, I'm assuming, to get back closer to the 21-day moving average. Let's just see if we can identify any areas of support or resistance. It's tough because there's not a lot of price data in this, in these prices, because it's pretty much at all-time, very close to highs, all-time highs. But I'm looking at somewhere in here, so I'm assuming like, I don't know, somewhere right here, like 269-ish, 268-ish, which is right at the 61.8% fib level. There's probably, some support or resistance, right? Because we have a few candles here that topped out this wick up here. And then the past two trading days, we were kind of flirting with this area. So, I'll see. I think tomorrow's gonna, if we have a green day tomorrow, that's what I would look for. I would want a green day on Wayfair, and I want it to close above 270. That's what I'd look for, because I want it to come up above and stay above this trend line, because right now it's looking like a resistance. So I want it to make sure it's support. I want it to rally, stay above here. Like if it closes tomorrow, like somewhere in here, that's what I want, because that tells me that this is going to be support, and then it supports my hypothesis that we're going to come back and trade closer to the 21-day moving average. That's my thought. But same question I posed to Alias, sorry, was if you have this, I think there's better tickers to spend your money on, in my opinion, right? Like, why do you want to deal with this, right? Like, something happened 3 days ago that caused this huge sell-off. So like, if you have, whatever spreads you want to sell, whether there were $5 wide spreads or whatever, I'm assuming they're $5 wide spreads because this is a pretty expensive stock. So your max loss would have been $500, right? You could take that $500 loss and go trade, in my opinion, better tickers, I think. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't like this. I don't like the look of it. I mean, if you're asking for my opinion, I do like that it is long-term, up and to the right. I do like that. But I don't like whatever just happened this past week. Something happened, and I think we got to figure out what this was. Because you don't know, like if something really bad happened, then this thing could just keep selling off. I don't know. So I would figure out what this event was. Okay, and then now I wanted to look at Hyliion, right? HYLN, I think it is. So, okay, so I know a little bit about this, right? So Hyliion they're the new company or they're the old company? They're becoming, what's that other EV company? I forgot, I'm blanking on the name right now. But like they're gonna change names or something, right? Or they're gonna merge or something. Yeah, Corey, I mean, obviously, like I said, I'm not giving out financial advice. I don't, like I said, I'm just being honest. I don't care about Wayfair. I haven't kept up with it. I don't really follow the news on it, or, as you can see, I haven't really done any TA on it, so I don't know a lot about it. But yeah, just looking at that graph, I would just look into whatever that big red candle was from. Is now, are you still here? Or N:OW? No, maybe he left. All right, we're about 30 minutes in. Anybody want to look at anything else, or we can cut this short if we want. I'm going to post this. I'll post this on the YouTube channel. It's going to take a while for YouTube to render it because it's going to be a long video. But But yeah, if anybody wants to rewatch this or watch it after hours, SNE, a lot of videos. Yeah, Alias, I post at least one video every day. I've been doing it for a little over 6 months now. Yeah, the thumbnails. Yeah, I'll admit I know the thumbnails are a little bit like clicky or whatever, clickbaity, but like unfortunately that's what you got to do these days to get views and get subs and stuff. So I'm just trying to play the same game everybody else is playing. SNE. What's SNE? Oh, what's SNE? Sony? So I'm assuming you're trying to play the PS5 pump. Is that what you're going for? The thing about Sony though, I think I've looked at Sony options before, and I think their options don't have good volume. Is that right? I think it's not a very heavily traded. It's not a stock that people trade options on a lot, if I remember correctly, because I think I looked into it a while back. And that's gonna hurt you because you're gonna get like really wide bid-ask spreads, and you're not gonna get good fills. But yeah, double check that, Alias. I don't remember, but I feel like I looked into Sony before, like months ago, and then I saw that it doesn't have good volume, so then I just took it off my watch list. But double check it. But it's weird. Sony has a lot of gaps. Like it gaps up a lot. Like what's up with all these gaps? It's very weird. Like there's all these spaces between all the candles. It's interesting. They also have earnings coming up 29th. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I assumed you were trying to play like the PlayStation 5 Christmas pump or something, but at this point, I figure it's probably priced in by now, right? Because everybody knows that the PS5 and the new Xbox are going to be like the hot item this Christmas, right? So I'm assuming that's going to be priced in by now. Elias wants Snap. It's funny, we were just talking about Snap in the Discord server. I don't even know, like, do people even use Snapchat anymore? I thought Snapchat is like pretty much gone. But yeah, I mean it pumped, right? Well, it was off the earnings, right? It pumped off the earnings, but I don't know, like if this was me, like look how much it pumped. It went from what, like 28 to 43 in 3 days. There's got to be a pullback, right? Yeah, they destroyed earnings, but at some point there's got to be a pullback, right? Like look how far away. Like, look at Snap in relation to the orange line. It trades very closely to the orange line. And pretty much, the orange line and the pink line are pretty close together, too. For forever. I mean, look at it. Right? Like, since 2017, it's followed that orange, the 21-day moving average. Brown Man Pasta. You think people use Snapchat more than Instagram? I thought it was the other way around, but I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. But, I mean, look at it. It basically follows the orange line. And then look at it now. It's so far away from the 21-day moving average. I feel like there's got to be a pullback, right? It's got to come back down to earth. Like, it may not happen quickly, but it's got to come back, in my opinion. Because look at it. It almost, almost doubled, or, it didn't almost double, but it went up, like $20 in 3 trading days? That's a lot. So I don't know. I mean, I would be scared of a pullback. Like there's got to be some profit taking. I'm actually shocked that even after this gap up for 2 more days, we kept buying in. We kept raising the price. I'm actually shocked that happened because I would have figured after this first day we would have sold off. To be honest with you, but because look at it. I mean, look how little these candles are. The Snap doesn't move a lot every day, but then it gapped up, and then we have like huge candles. Oh, Brown, we just talked about GME, Brown Man. Let's see. I basically talked. I talked them out of trading GME because I was like, I think there's better tickers to put your money in my opinion. You're looking at snap options, just waiting. What are you looking at getting into though? Wheeling it, Jordan? I think, yeah. I mean, the other way to play it would be to play the pullback and do like call credit spreads. If you believe that there was going to be a pullback, just play bearish, like play the upside and sell call credit spreads. Or you want to buy puts? Yeah, I mean that's pretty smart, right? You traded a few. I'm assuming you bought calls and puts. I'm assuming that's what you mean. And then you made a few hundred into. I mean, I think that's the smart play. Like, don't get greedy. Just lock in your profits and be happy. I mean, Snap is like a meme stock, right? I mean, in my opinion, it's like a hype meme stock. It's definitely hyped right now, right? Oh, thoughts on AMD? Oh, Elias, you know I have thoughts on AMD, dude. Have you seen my videos? Come on. I talk about AMD like literally every video for the past 6 months. I haven't done any TA, but then kind of dumping since the release of their new stuff, and it might move on the earnings. I mean, here's my TA on AMD. I think, and we talked about this last night too, I think we are going to have a run up this week. My prediction, Elias, is I think early this week, like Monday, Tuesday, and then like maybe Wednesday morning, I think we'll have a run up on AMD. Like I think we'll get to like mid 80s, maybe even higher. And then I think, and this is assuming they have good earnings. If they have good earnings and the big Navi reveal starts on like Wednesday afternoon, I think Wednesday afternoon is when we're going to start seeing the sell off. I think it's either going to sell off or then trade flat for the rest of the week. So I think if I were to look at the week, I think the weekly highs will happen like Tuesday or Wednesday morning if the earnings are really good. That's my opinion. Because like we were in an uptrend for the past like 2 weeks, we then sold off, and then if we have another green day tomorrow, because we started to reverse this trend with a green day on Friday. I think if we have another green day tomorrow, if we close like somewhere around here at least, like somewhere in the like $83 range or something, then I think we'll have a little bit of a rally, like another uptrend. That's my thought. Because right now, I mean, at least before, like right now, you can see Friday, the 50 MA, the 50-day MA was resistance. Look at it. I mean, intraday, the wick is pretty much right at that level. So I need AMD to break up above that to then make this act as support again. Because look at here, for a few days, this 50 MA was support. These wicks got really close to it, and then we broke down below it last week. So I need it to go back up and then close like above it, ideally above like 83, because I think 83 is an area of resistance right now. So that's what I'm looking for. Honestly, I think 85 is a reasonable price prediction for end of day Friday. That's going to be my prediction, that AMD is going to be like $85 at the end of the week on Friday. That's my thought. But we might get up to like 86, 87 in the middle of the week, but then I think we're going to pull back a little bit, or at least trade flat. Yeah, I agree. I'm actually looking forward to see what AMD does this week, Jordan, because they got a lot of big stuff coming up with earnings and big Navi. So I'm actually really curious about how it does. I have 2 covered calls on AMD at the 89 strike. I don't think they'll hit, so I'm just going to let them ride. I mean, if they do hit, I will let my shares get called away, because then I'll make a good amount of premium, and then I'll also make a good amount of stock appreciation. And I want to get out of my shares, because we were talking about this earlier. If I scroll out, I got in at 85, right? So I got in like here in August-ish, and I basically got in at like the peak almost, because all-time high is 94. I thought we were going to keep going up, but then we sold off in September. I mean, the whole market did. So I kind of want to get out, because if I get out now while it's in the 80s, then I could start running the wheel again and sell cash secured puts, but then I could sell them in like either the low 80s or the high 70s, so I can get in at a lower cost basis. That's my thought. So you're trying to figure out what to sell your November 2090 calls at. Didn't we talk about this last night, Jordan? Was that you? What do you think about going long VIX? I mean, you're trying to play like the election volatility, I'm guessing, whole wheat pasta. I wouldn't do it. I mean, hey, Mod Scott, what's going on? Long time no see. I don't know. I mean, VIX is already still pretty high, then, right? Like, let's look at UVXY. I mean, this is gonna like always. I mean, you may get like a little blip, right? I wouldn't buy VIX personally, because I mean, look at it. Ever since peak illness, VIX has just slowly been decaying off, right? It's just been slowly downward sloping. I mean, yes, you get a little blip here and there, but how much money are you going to make from buying a call on this little blip here? Thoughts on Workhorse? I haven't really looked at Workhorse. Let's check it out. You guys really like these EV companies, huh? Guys and girls. Workhorse, they have earnings coming up. It's the following week. I mean, it looks like Workhorse is going to kind of rally back. I'm assuming because it's also one of those tickers that looks like it follows the 21-day moving average pretty closely, and we're below it. I mean, I am scared that the 50-day moving average at like 22 is probably going to act as resistance. So, we might get a little bit of a green run up to like 21, 22, but do you think they're going to have good earnings? I don't know. I haven't followed not Tesla. I haven't followed Workhorse really. They had really bad earnings. The most recent one, their estimate was negative 0.11. They were negative 0.16. But the earnings before that was good. But yeah, I don't know. I think it might be flat or run up a little bit, and then I think whatever earnings is going to show is going to determine whether it goes up or down. I know that sounds dumb, but I think that's what I'm seeing, I guess, because it's so far below the 21 and 50-day MA that this is definitely going to act as resistance. And honestly, looks like I'm short-term bearish on it, because I mean, look at it. Ever since about like April 28th, it's always traded above the pink line. It's always traded above the 50-day moving average. And then for the first time in a long time on October 20th, we now broke down below it. So honestly, I would say I'm short to midterm bearish, because right now the trend is like this, right? Like ever since we peaked September 21st, overall we're trending downward. And now that we crossed below both the 21 and the 50-day moving averages, I think, unless they just blow earnings out of the water, I'm a little bearish on it, to be honest with you, actually. I take that. I mean, if we have a green rally, I would say, like I said, it's probably going to get to like 21, 22. But I would be concerned that we do like one of these where it comes up and then it just keeps going down. Like it's just another blip. That's what my fear would be. So yeah, I mean, personally, just looking at the graph, like I said, I would be short to midterm bearish on Workhorse, because I don't like this, that it broke below the 50-day moving average. It's always traded above it for months now. Purdy, you're late to the party. We just talked about Microsoft. Here, we can recap. So what did we say? Microsoft, so we drew some trend lines. Looks like there's support at the moving averages. Oops. Because it looks like you can see intraday Friday, we bounced pretty much right off the 50-day moving average. So I think there's support at around like 212, 213. And I think there's resistance at like 216. So I think we're going to trade somewhere between 213 and 216 in the short term until it decides whether it wants to go up or, go down. And we do have earnings coming up this week. So that might play a part into what we do in terms of short-term bearish or bullish. But I mean, the overall recent trend has been down, right? We kind of peaked on October 13th and we're kind of like this. So the real question is, these 3 green days in a row, is that just a little blip? Meaning, like, are we just going to blip up and then still continue down? Or is this the beginning of another uptrend now? So I think that's what we have to wait and see what happens right up to earnings and I guess after earnings. But I think, barring any really bad news, I do think like 212, 213-ish is going to be support, at least in the short term, for Microsoft. Yeah, binary event for Workhorse. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think my opinion is like Workhorse is a little bit of, it's just another one of those meme stocks, right? Those meme EV stocks, right? Everyone's playing like Workhorse and Nikola, all these like EV companies. Yeah, I mean, don't even get me started on Nikola. That company is like the ultimate meme ticker. I'm just reading through some of these comments. Mod Squad says, how would you play AMD this week with a small $300 account? I mean, with $300 and to play AMD, because AMD is what, $80, like 82 or something right now. So I mean, you would have to trade spreads, right? Because you don't have enough to have a cash secured put. So you would have to trade spreads. I mean, honestly, again, not financial advice, but I am bullish on AMD this week. So I would trade a put credit spread, right? I would play the downside, hoping that AMD stays above my strikes so that I could collect max profit. If for whatever reason you're bearish on AMD, then you would trade call credit spreads. But yeah, with $300, I mean, and honestly, you would have to trade at most $3 wide strikes, because you can't even, if you trade $5 wide, your max loss is $500 and you don't have the cash to cover that. I mean, you could trade three $1 wide strikes, like 3 contracts. That would give you a max loss of $300. But then you'd also be putting all of your eggs in one basket. So, but yeah, if you're like I'm bullish on it, right? So if I wanted to trade a spread, I would put on a put credit spread. I would probably, because 78 looks like an area of resistance. So I would make sure that my strikes are definitely below 78. Because just based on my TA, that would make me feel better. And then obviously the lower you go, the more likely, the further out of the money you're going to be, and the more likely you're be profitable. But obviously you're going to take a smaller max profit the further out you go. I mean, that's just math. Let's see. What do I think of Tesla? Bought some shares when they dipped below 410. I'm in the green, but I don't know how long I should hold. Don't want to start dumping again. I mean, who knows with Tesla, right? Tesla's just going to do whatever Tesla. I mean, look at it. It's literally, Tesla is literally 6 pennies away from 420.69, right? Tell me that's by accident, right? Like, but you're in at 410, you said? So you're in like right here. I mean, the support level I drew a while back is like at 405. So that tells me that, I mean, if you believe my TA, then you're above support, which is not ideal. But the nice thing is that Tesla's still trading above the 50-day moving average, and your 410 is below the 50-day MA. So that's definitely going to act as support. And you can see, on Friday, it got as low as like 408-ish, but we didn't close there. We closed again above the 50-day moving average. So that's good. I mean, the 50-day MA is at like 418 or so. Probably tomorrow will be like 419, 420-ish if Tesla's flat or green tomorrow. So you'll probably be okay. I mean, it all depends on if you just want to, I mean, if you're scared, right? You're already green on the shares. You could just sell off the shares for like $10 a share on profit. I mean, if you have 100 shares, $10 a share, that's $1,000 in profit, and then you can sleep better at night. Or you could, open up some more cash secured puts at a lower strike. Like you could, if you sold off your shares Monday morning tomorrow, you could probably open cash secured puts like sub 400 or high 300s for some good premium probably. Let's see. I'm looking through the option chain right now, deducting theta decay of 0.07. I don't know what that means. ADA. A day. But $3 to $5 move up from here looks like you might be able to sell these for $7 to $9 a piece. Wait, what are you talking about, Jordan? You're talking about VIX? Or are you talking about AMD? I'm confused. What ticker are you talking? I don't know what ticker you're talking about. I'm lost. Purdy, thoughts on Microsoft? All right, we talked about that. RAF, which premiums are juicy? Workhorse? Neo? Neo, I did do a video, a TA video on Neo recently. I think we're gonna have a pullback on Neo because I drew this trend line. I also drew this parallel channel, and you know we gapped up out of that parallel channel, and you can see we've started to pull back a little bit. I think we're gonna pull back some more. I think we're gonna come back down to like Earth, like somewhere like this, because like I said, this parallel channel is like down here. If I extend this out, you know, oops, and like closer to this trend line, you can see Neo has been trading pretty closely to this trend line. I mean, when it does bounce up, it always comes back, right? Bounced up, came back. So I think getting another bounce up. So I think it's going to come back down to Earth again. So I would say I'm short-term bearish on Neo. I think it's trading too far away from the moving average and then outside this parallel channel and too far away from the trend line. I think we're too far out. I think it's overpriced or overvalued. I mean, look at the RSI. The RSI is super overbought right now. Yeah. Oh, you're talking about Workhorse? Yeah, but I mean, just always keep in mind, right? The reason why premiums are juicy, like more premium means more risk, right? In general, there's a reason why, or I should say more volatility. So there's a reason why you're getting more premium. It's because you're taking on more risk. So, I mean, you just got to decide if you're okay with that. All right. Any final questions or thoughts? We got like 8 minutes left till we call it a night until maybe next week. If you guys like this, I might do this every Sunday night or maybe Saturday night. Just like a 1 hour, you know, chill stream, I guess. I mean, if you guys really like this, you should join the Discord server because we got some smart people in there and you can bounce off your trade ideas with many other people that are more experienced or maybe even, you know, smarter than I am too. And we trade, I mean, the people in the Discord server trade a whole variety of tickers. Like we got people trading Snap, actually Workhorse too, Rocket, the ARC funds. What else do people like to play? I think people have traded AMD as well, but we got a good variety of people. I got one guy trades Bitcoin too, but yeah, I mean we're live like 24/7, so especially during market hours, we're always chatting away. Oh, you're at the gym? All right, cool, man. You're trying to get those gains. Definitely, you're getting swole, and your portfolio's getting swole too. Don't forget leg day though, Mod Squad. You gotta hit leg day. Anything else? Anything else you guys want to look at? Yeah, you're working on it. Not the dreaded leg day. Rough week for what's SPAC? SPAQ is like a SPAC ETF or something. Spartan Energy Acquisition Corp. What is this? I've never even heard of this ticker. Oof, not good though. I mean, what is this? What kind of energy? Are they green energy or are they like oil and stuff? I'm assuming they're oil. Oh, SPAC aiming to take Fisker public. Wait, so they're like a green? It's another EV? But then why are they selling off? Because usually the green stocks have been doing well recently, like the green and the EV tickers. So why are they selling off? I don't know. I've never even heard of this ticker. Thoughts? Oh, Bark Buffalo says thoughts on Bitcoin future. I don't know, man. I don't follow Bitcoin at all. You know, every time I might see a headline here or two. Like I know it's at like 12,000 or something, right? Like it's got a huge run up recently, but I don't trade or follow Bitcoin or crypto at all. So I'm not the person to ask for that. I don't know. I think crypto is a little bit too risky right now for me. I mean, just my opinion. One, because I don't know a lot about it, but like, what happens if Bitcoin is not the crypto that is like the one that gets chosen, right? Because there's like a bajillion Bitcoins, right? There's like Dogecoin and Litecoin and Ethereum and all these other like random coins, right? So what happens if Bitcoin is not the one? I know Bitcoin's the most popular one, but or like what happens if the government says like, okay, we're gonna ban Bitcoin, or we're not gonna recognize Bitcoin as like a legitimate currency? Then what happens? Like, what happens then with all that money that's invested in there? I don't know. I'm just like talking out loud. I don't know a lot about crypto, so I don't want to like give you bad advice. Or I don't want to give you any advice. I don't want to say anything that's incorrect. Trader University had a good video on it. I don't know. I watched that there was a Bitcoin documentary on Netflix a while back. I watched that. But I just saw an article. What was it? There was a country, I think the Bahamas. The Bahamas like just adopted a cryptocurrency or something like that, or like they just recognized. They called it the sand dollar, I think it was. Like I don't know what it was. They started their own cryptocurrency or something, but you have to Google it. I saw an article like in the past day or two about the Bahamas and some sort of like cryptocurrency they called it the sand dollar. But like, yeah, so like what happens if like the sand dollar is what the rest of the world adopts too? And like what happens with all this Bitcoin money just goes away? I don't know. Anything else? Are you going to call it a night? Watch some football? With knee? What's knee? I don't even. What is. Hey, Wendell, what's going on? I don't know what knee is. NEE. You guys have been throwing out some crazy tickers. Nextera Energy? you guys. You guys really like these like energy tickers, huh? These like, is this another? Please tell me this is not an EV ticker. Is this an EV play? Oh, I don't know if Tampa Bay won. I don't know. I watched parts of it, but I don't know what the score was. I don't know what WBA is either. Let's see, what is W? What kind of? Oh, it's an electric. Is this a? What is this? What is NEE? I've never heard of this ticker. What's WBA? Oh, Walgreens. Oh yeah, didn't we talk about this a little bit? Or I looked at it last night. Oof. Elias, you're picking like these tickers that you're picking, or Alias. Sorry, not Elias. Again, it's like same thing. Like the first thing I noticed is like this thing is like down. I wouldn't touch this thing personally. I don't know. I don't like it. I don't like the way it looks. Maybe here, maybe from like 2012 to like 2015, I liked it because it was like up. But then it's just the next past, 5 years, it's trending down. I don't like it. Bitcoin 140 by end of 2022. Frosty B is calling it out. Frosty B is throwing down the gauntlet. I don't know. I don't know what that downtrend is, to be honest with you. But they don't control the drug prices, right? Isn't that more the insurance companies and like the pharmaceutical companies? Plus their I don't know. Or maybe it's the rise of the online pharmacies, right? Because like, isn't that like the new thing now where people are getting their medications like just delivered to their door online? So maybe like people are just aren't going into the physical pharmacies to get their medications. They're just doing online orders. Fastly. What's the deal with I don't even did anyone pick up TikTok? What's the deal with that? Because isn't TikTok like Fastly's like biggest customer or something like that? So like they have earnings this week? Yeah, they do. They have earnings, I think it's Tuesday, 28th. Made plenty of money with Fastly. Yeah, I mean, but I'm assuming you got out of this recent, because look at it, it just dropped from October 14th to the 15th. It was up from like 131 down to like 90. But there's not a lot of price. I did do a 10-minute trade video on Fastly, but you can see there's not a lot of price data. But it does not look like it's having a good days recently. It's been red for like a full trading week. You made money after the drop. What did you do? Sell puts? Or I mean, buy puts? Yeah, a teledoc company. Yeah, I mean, I guess all that stuff is right. TDoc. I think TDOC is teledoc for US. You did a skewed strangle. Okay. But I don't know. I mean, it looks like right now I drew an area of support at like 76. So it looks like we closed right there on Friday. So I think we'll have to see tomorrow whether we bounce up and off it or if we still break down through it. It does look like it's pretty close to being oversold on the RSI curve. So maybe we'll have a little bounce up off 76, and maybe we'll trade between like 76 and like 90. There might be another area of like resistance around here. I'm just looking at the chart. There's a bunch of candles around here. We might trade between like 76 and like 85 in the short term. Looking at the chart here. All right, guys and gals, it's a little after 8 o'clock. I think I'm going to call it a night. Any last minute requests or anything? I hope you guys enjoyed this. I don't know. It was pretty fun. I like just chatting with people. And obviously, like nothing I say is financial advice, right? This is just me giving my opinions. If I could predict the future, I wouldn't be doing this, right? I would just YOLO into whatever ticker I thought I was going up, and then just make money that way. But just giving my opinions and my thoughts, that's all. Hey, I appreciate that sub. Yeah, I mean, I really appreciate it. You know, if you want to smash the subscribe button, like the videos, and I think the algorithm really cares about likes and comments. I think that's kind of what I've been reading about on the internet. So like, I don't even care what you comment. Like, if you just want to comment like a joke or something, that's pretty cool. But like, I think that's what really has been getting, that's what gets your videos promoted in YouTube, or that's what the algorithm likes, what I've kind of read. So if you guys could just drop like a comment in my videos, that would be pretty awesome. Bark Buffalo, been watching for months. Appreciate that, man. But yeah, like if you guys really want to get more content, like more like real-time content, then jump in the Discord server. We got a really good group of people in there. Hey, D Childress just found the channel last week. Like the content. Appreciate it. Hey, can I ask, how did you find, I'm just curious, how did you find the channel? Was it just like on your YouTube homepage, or how did you come across it? Or did you like Google search something? Oh, you watch Kamikaze? Yeah. So I talked to Kamikaze a lot. He's a good guy. He's a really good dude. And we're gonna like do a little bit of a collab coming up shortly. So I'm pretty excited about that. So hopefully that'll get a few more people into the channel. But yeah, if you don't know, I'll put his channel name here. It's Kamikaze Cash. So that's his channel name. Definitely go subscribe to him if you haven't already. But he puts out good content. It's usually very funny, and the production value is much better than mine. But yeah, he's a good guy. So definitely subscribe to his channel. Tell him I sent you or something. Just put in the comments or something. But yeah, we're gonna do like a little bit of a collab soon. So I'm looking forward to that. Yeah, that's kind of what I noticed. I think I get hits from people searching the wheel strategy or Theta Gang. I'm actually ranked for, if you do a Google search on Theta Gang, my videos and Kamikaze's videos come up on the front page. So I think that's kind of cool. I'm ranked on the front page of on Google. But yeah, I think like me and Kamikaze share a lot of viewers. Because I actually think he found my channel as well, just through YouTube, and that's how we kind of got connected. But yeah, he's a good guy. So definitely subscribe to his channel if you're not already. All right, I'm gonna call it a night. We'll do this again next weekend. Yeah, you follow him too? Yeah, good. Cool. All right, guys, I'm gonna call it a night. Have a good night. Hopefully we'll get some good trades in tomorrow. Hopefully we'll have a green week in the market, and we'll all make tons of money. Take it easy.